Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Little for PokerCoaching.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing an interesting hand from the £1 million Triton Million in London that took place recently. It was a charity tournament, which was extra sweet, in that some of the prize pool went to charity, and it featured a lot of high rollers and a lot of, quote-unquote amateurs who, many of them just play a ton of poker. So anyway, in this hand, Kerry Katz opens from early position with King 10 of spades, and then Chen here in the big blind calls with King 5 offsuit. Now, me knowing Kerry Katz, knowing he's a little bit on the tight side, it's probably okay to just fold King 5 offsuit when Kerry opens from under the gun, because you're just going to be severely dominated by either Ace King, King Queen, King Jack, King 10 suited, or a pair, right? So I think I may actually just fold the King X offsuit. That said, calling's probably fine if Kerry min raised it. So anyway, that's what happened pre-flop. And then the flop comes King 5-3. So now Chen checks, Kerry continuation bets 15,000, a small continuation bet. And then Chen check raises. Now, I don't know anything about Chen besides he was listed as a recreational player for this tournament. And he's a young guy, right? So those two things combined make me think we probably just need to never ever fold top pair type hands against this type of player. If your opponent is a super duper nit, like if you just know they only check raise with the nuts on the flop, you could actually fold stuff like King 10. But against any rational human at all, King 10 of spades, especially with the backdoor draw, is just unfoldable for Kerry. You must continue. And Kerry does. Now, turn brings a 10. Hello. And now, let's take a look at the stack sizes real quick. Kerry has 500K, and the pot's 127. So Kerry now really wants to figure out a way to get all the money in, because he has pretty much the effective nuts, right? So, the question is, if Chen bets, does Kerry need to raise? And essentially, if Chen bets big here, say bets 100, pot's going to go up to 327, Kerry's going to have 400 left. It's going to be pretty easy to get the rest of the money in by the river. If Chen bets tiny, like say he was to bet 30K, then maybe Kerry needs to raise in order to get all the money in the pot. Given Chen did bet 105 though, see that right here. Given he bet 105, this is a very, very nice spot to call, because you really want to keep Chen in if he has 6-4 or 7-4 or 4-2 or an overvalued hand, right? Like maybe King Queen or Ace King somehow. Not that he's going to have those all that often pre-flop, but he may. So, this seems like a very nice spot for Kerry to call. Don't be afraid of getting outdrawn in this scenario. Sometimes you're just going to lose. So, Kerry does call, which I think is great. I have no problem with this hand so far. Notice pot's already gigantic. And now, a 3 comes off on the river, which is actually awful for Chen, because Chen now loses to pocket aces. However, it's really only one hand, right? So, Chen still beats Ace King, King Queen, and King Jack, which he is almost certainly putting Kerry on at this point, because remember, Kerry called a flop check raise, called a big turn bet. He just must have a king or pocket aces, right? So now, there are 6 combinations of pocket aces. How many combinations of ace king? Well, there's 1 king left. Well, sorry, there's two kings left in the deck that Chen doesn't know about, and then 4 aces, so there's 8 of those. There's also 8 king queens, maybe not all the king jacks if he doesn't open those from early position. And then King 10 suited, you lose to that every once in a while. There are 2 combinations of that. So Chen loses to a total of 8 combinations of hands, and he beats about 16 of them. Maybe more if he has King Jack suited, which clearly he does because he has King 10 suited. So this is a scenario where, presuming Kerry calls with the reasonable kings, that make logical sense, every time, this is a very easy value bet for Chen, because he's going to win about 2/3 of the time and lose 1/3 of the time when he gets called, assuming Kerry calls with the kings. Now, if Kerry doesn't call with the kings, what that starts to mean is maybe he only calls here with aces and Ace King and King 10. Now, you lose to the 6 aces and the 2 King 10s, right? So that's 8. And you beat the Ace Kings, so it's 50-50. Which may sound fine, but really it's not, because Kerry may decide to bluff if you check to him. If he randomly does have 6-4 suited or ace-4 of hearts, right? If you check, maybe Kerry bluffs, then you get more money in the pot that way. Or maybe if you check, he value bets King Queen or King Jack. You get more money in that way, right? So I like the value shove here for Chen. It is a big bet. That said, I'm not sure Carey is going to be the type of player who makes a big call here. I think I would have much preferred a 280K bet. I think 280K gets called a ton, whereas I don't think 405K gets called all that often. So now, what does Carey do? I think Carey has a pretty easy call. Here, he beats the bluffs, right? And, 6-4 is staring you right in the face. 4-2 suited, maybe. Also, if he had a hand like 7-6 of hearts, he's going to check raise flop sometimes, bet turn, and then jam river. So what do you lose to here? You lose to pocket fives, pocket threes, I guess aces, but probably not aces all that often. So there's 3 combinations of fives, 1 combination of pocket threes. And that's it. Guess you lose to king 3 as well if he has king 3 suited. Guess you could have king 3 offsuit if he has king 5 offsuit, right? So there are 2 threes left and 2 kings, so there's 4 of those. So you lose to 4. You lose to a total of 8 hands, right? Can we come up with more? Well, first off, we're getting pot odds, right? So we need to have something like, he needs to have something like 12 value hands, give or take. Or he has 8 value hands, it means he can have something like 6 bluffs. Let's just pretend that's roughly what it is. And so can we come up with 6 logical bluffs? And in this scenario, there's 16 combinations of 6-4. So that alone would make me call here pretty much every time, because there's only 8 combinations of good hands that would play this way, and then 16 obvious hands that would at least potentially bluff. Now, just because someone has potential bluffs in their range does not mean they're going to bluff them all the time, right? Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But 6-4 would like to bluff. If you had 7-6, especially 7-6 backdoor flush draw, those hands would like to bluff. So this is a scenario where I think Carey just has to call here. And then, that's not even counting the time that Chen makes a jam with a hand like king 5, because I can guarantee Chen is value betting here. He's not thinking he has the worst hand. So, in this scenario, if he'll ever value bet worse, like say he'll value bet ace king if he has it, or a hand like, king 5 if he has it, then it becomes a very easy call, because now you beat the bluffs and you beat the value bets. So anyway, Carey, this was way too tight. I think you just have to make the call here. Yes, it's no fun to call and lose in a £1 million tournament, but in this scenario, you just have to call. And you may say, well, I was really sure he loved his hand. The problem, though, is that sometimes people overvalue. Say you knew the guy was only value betting. Say you knew Chen was value betting somehow, which you can't know against good players. If you know he's value betting, then his range is king 5, king 3, pocket 3s, pocket 5s, right? So how many king 5s are there? There's 2 kings left and 3 5s. So that's 6 combinations of king 5. Like we said, there are 4 combinations of king 3, and then 1 3s and 1 5. So in that scenario, there's 6 king 5s and 8 hands you lose to. And in that scenario, even then, you're getting roughly the right odds. So essentially, to make this fold, you have to say, Chen is literally never bluffing. And it's hard to put any, youngish person on never bluffing, at least in my experience. So no matter how you look at this, Carey, I think you have to make the call. Anyway, this sure worked out for Chen. And it's always fun whenever you are value betting and somehow get a better hand to fold. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Little. I hope you're enjoying my Thanksgiving Day marathon. I hope you're learning a lot and having a great day. I know you just watched a little bit of the Triton 1 million pound review, and I'm excited to offer that to you at a very discounted price for Black Friday. In the Triton million pound review, I review some of the most interesting hands from that tournament, which was the biggest buy-in tournament ever. And I study play from some of the best players in the world, including Tom Dwan, Jungle Man, Stephen Chidwick, Bryn Kinney, Dan Smith, Bonomo, and many, many more top pros. One of the ways I have significantly improved my skills is by working hard to study the strategies of other poker players and implement the ones that are extremely successful into my own game. And learning from the best players in the world is a fantastic way to continuously improve. If you enjoy hand history reviews like this, I've reviewed many, many final tables of World Series of Poker events, World Poker Tour events, high-stakes cash game tables that I've played at and that other people have played at, and it is perhaps the absolute best way to take your skills to the next level quickly by seeing what the best players in the world do, and then adding that to your game, right? It does take time, it takes a little bit of work, but I've gone through the hard work of essentially telling you why the best players in the world are doing what they are doing, and then showing you how to slip those plays right into your strategy so that you can crush like they do. So check it out at pokercoaching.com/Black Friday, and hope you continue enjoying this Thanksgiving Day marathon.